Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. We are in Amrutanubhava and we are looking at verse number 72, OV number 72, chapter 7, Ajnana Khandana, denial of ignorance. Ignorance, even though the word exists, but what it represents does not exist. Because if ignorance exists, then where will the truth go? Existence is only one. Truth is only one. And that truth is not ignorance. That truth is all-knowing principle, Satchidanand Swarup. And Jnaneshwar Maharaj is looking at everything from the absolute standpoint, wherein the source is that absolute truth, the material that has gone into the creation is the absolute truth. So if absolute truth is playing with absolute truth, where's the place for ignorance? Not possible. How inquiry into the presence of ignorance in the pure self is null and void is explained in OVs 72 and 73. देखावाज कैसी विये विरुढ़ती भाजली बिये कि सूर्य कोणाला है अंधाराते. Can one see a barren woman's delivery, or can roasted seeds sprout, or can the sun see the darkness? Having given these three examples, the conclusion is drawn. Okay, before that, what was the thought going on here? The ignorance exists in Atma, or it has some relationship with the self, is a mere gossip. However, if we say that the self gets identified with the ignorance, this is what some places this angle is taken, that because of self forgetfulness, today's meditation began like that, because of self forgetfulness we become identified with the world. The self is Satchidananda Swarup, and we, because we have become forgetful of our Satchidanand Swarup, we search for the Ananda from the finite objects of the world. Now the question here Jnaneshwar Maharaj is putting is, it is not possible for the self to forget itself. Which means, don't take it as a concept. He is talking to you. You are the self. You are the consciousness. And it is not possible for you to forget yourself. You have never forgotten yourself. It is just impossible. And that is the angle. No, but I am individual. That is total, that is infinite. Individual is also included in the infinite. Infinite is not separate from the individual. Infinite is not separate from the total. Water is not separate from the total ocean. Water is not separate from the individual wave. If you understand the angle, water is pervading the ocean, the totality, and pervading all the waves, the individuality. So, where is the place of individuality? Where is individuality then? Only in imagination. Stop your imagination. Start accepting that you are that Tattvamasi. But we don't. We want to keep reiterating that we are the individual, that I have done so many papa, that I have got to do so much sadhana, only then I will realize. It's instantaneous. You are already that which you are seeking. And there is no possibility of ignorance to exist in this truth that you are. And therefore, towards that, this example Jnaneshwar Maharaj has taken, the three examples that he is giving us, they are, where are we here? Can one see a barren woman's delivery? An impossibility. Can roasted seeds sprout? Another impossibility. Can the sun see the darkness? Another impossibility. So also, fourth impossibility is existence of ignorance in the sun, in the truth, and also an impossibility. But then I am seeing the variety. I am seeing the whole world. I am seeing the misery. I am seeing that I was born, that I am going to die. My body is going away. Yes, body is going away. You are not going away. Mind is going through the states of waking, dream and deep sleep. You are not going through the states of waking, dream and deep sleep. This ascertainment is required within us. Who we are. Are we a relative or are we the absolute? And all problems begin when we make the choice of not accepting ourselves as the absolute. But so this Jnaneshwar Maharaj is just acting as a mirror to us. He's just shifting our attention. Look, just as the sun cannot see darkness, self cannot have ignorance. Having given these three examples, the conclusion is drawn. Taisa chinmatri chokhada भल तैसा अज्ञानाचा झाडा घेतला तरही पवाडा येईल काही. Similarly, even by scrutinizing, is it ever possible to establish ignorance in consciousness? Question mark. So get out of this diatribe or this mental talking. Even though we have read it somewhere that I am ignorant. No, you are not ignorant. I don't know why I forgot myself. There has never been a moment in creation when you have forgotten yourself. Accept it. In the same way, in the pure consciousness, chin matra, chit is consciousness. Because of the sandhi, it is becoming chin matra. In the pure consciousness, chin matra, other than the pure self, nothing else is. In the sun, other than the sunlight, nothing else is. Is there any place for darkness in the light? No. Oh, but we see sun day and night. You see day and night on the earth. You look at from in the sun, is there day and night? No. Is light ghana, prakash ghana, homogeneous mass of light, where nothing else other than light is. Similarly, we are homogeneous mass of consciousness. You can't use the word mass here, but homogeneous consciousness, where no possibility of ignorance, forgetfulness, duality, multiplicity, differences is possible. See, now the question will be coming that if this is so, then why am I seeing the variety? Why am I seeing the duality? Why am I seeing the differences? You are talking to us, this is difference. I am not seeing me as you or you as me. So there are two ways that is told. See, if you take the position of the wave, there are differences of many waves, each competing with each other, comparing with each other, fighting with each other, trying to defeat each other, trying to be successful than the other. But from water's standpoint, is there any of these things possible? Comparison, competition, success, fighting, pushing, shoving of each other of wave from water's point of view. Is it possible? Water sees everything as water. Then what is it? Then from totality point of view, not absolute point of view, totality point of view also, what is the status of the wave? Is nothing but ocean. Is there comparison between the waves from ocean's point of view? No. Ocean is pervading all the waves. Then from ocean point of view, what is this expanse of variety which is seen? It's just a play of the ocean with itself. It's not ocean versus wave. It's a play, it's a sport, it's a game. When this attitude comes in us, and it is not a developed attitude, this will click when we are continuously in focus, in contemplation, are attentive of the consciousness that we are. Then this clicks, and we see the whole world as a play. We see the whole world as a game. Not becoming touch me not. Oh, he said this. Oh, I to do that. Someone, you go and sit in some place and suddenly someone else sits down and you make a face. Oh, I was going to sit there and he or she took the seat. See? It's a play. And in play, nobody is serious. Why do you play? Play is for joy. It's an expression of joy. So are we living our life as an expression of bliss or joy? Or are we living our life to gain bliss or joy? By doing something, by meeting someone, by eating, by seeing, hearing, touching, feeling, tasting, thinking, imagining. What is our intention? That if I do this, then I'll be happy? Or am I at this moment listening out of joy? Joy is expressing while listening. Joy is expressing while speaking. Or conversely, after I will contemplate on this what Amrutanubhava says, and then I will attain the bliss. Miss the point, target. So this is the continuous adjustment that needs to be carried out by the seeker. That he is consciousness, that he is Satchidanand Swarup, that he is the source, that he is everything. Then everything else is just a game. Don't give it too much value. Just like when overvaluing of property is there, the prices start going up. Isn't it? And afterwards there is a crash. Oh my God, I bought it at a very expensive price. Why did you give value to it? Same way, when you give value to the world, then its price will go up, and you are living as a slave to this world. Don't give value to it. Give value to the consciousness that you are. Then let the world go up or down, who cares? Does the sun care whether there is day or night? No, because from sun's point of view there is no day or night. Similarly, once we establish in ourselves as ourselves, not once we are, but you have to become available to that. You are imagining that you are not that. Then all this oscillation, all these untoward experiences of the world, they will stop having an impact on such a person. Then such a person is called a Mahatma. In the same way, in the pure consciousness, other than the pure self, nothing else is. Is it ever possible to establish ignorance in the pure consciousness by any means? Is there any way to establish waves in the water, or even at the total principle waves in the ocean? Can you establish it? You go and touch a wave, you are touching, just take it as water. You are touching the wave, you are touching the water. You taste the wave, you are tasting the water. You feel the wave, you are feeling the water. Then why you are calling it a wave? Stupidity. So under all sets of circumstances and your interaction with the wave, conclusion is it is water. Socho zara. Think. Then where is this waveness? Where is this wave? It's only in your imagination, in the mind. Take it out. Different possibilities have so far been explored, such as whether ignorance is, whether it is supported by the Atma, whether it is inherent in the Atma, or whether ignorance can be established by cause and effect relationship. Whichever way one tries, it was again and again concluded that to try to establish the existence of ignorance is a vain exercise. When one takes the snake ignorance to be real and wants to discover the reality of the snake ignorance disappears. Now, don't think you are the snake. Then you will disappear. So when here Swami says, when one takes the snake, this is the snake and the rope example. Rope is the truth. Where is the snake on the rope? It's only in an imagination, it's only a phenomena. Does the snake exist? No. Can you kill the snake? No. Can you remove the snake? No. Can the snake bite you? No. Think. When I'm using the word snake, you think of the body, you think of the world. You think of the mind. It cannot influence you. But we are living as if we are under the clutches of the mind. We are under the clutches of the body and senses and the world of relationships and possessions, past and future. Then where is the snake? Is it in the rope? No. Is it outside the rope? No. What do you do now? Can the snake bite the rope? No. Can it kill the rope? No. Can it swallow the rope? Not possible. Who? Snake. Exactly the same way. Exactly the same way. This mind cannot do this to the consciousness. So question is, now you accept yourself as the mind or you accept yourself as the consciousness? If you accept yourself as the mind, I am ignorant, I have forgotten myself, I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to realize myself, I have to gain moksha, I have to control my senses, I have to control my mind. Who is saying? Mind is saying. Whatever sadhana a snake does, can it realize the rope? Can't. And if it does, if we say that it starts thinking about the rope, the snake will vanish. Just like in that example of Devdatta in Panchadashi, or in other Upanishads also, here in the Shankar Bhashya it comes. A person who is being bitten by a snake, he steps on a rope, the rope coils up and hits him on the calf. He thinks, he only thinks, imagines that the snake has bitten him. He gets all the symptoms of a snake bite, starts screaming. One passerby comes to his rescue. He says, I've been bitten by a snake, please help. Where is the snake? Here only. He looks, there is only a rope lying there, and he brings his attention to it. Hey, that is not a snake, that is just a rope. But he doesn't say that seriously. He says it with a smile, without any fear. The person who has been bitten by the snake, he sees the expression of the helper. First he sees that he is smiling. Why is he smiling? Here I am bitten by a snake. Is he not afraid of the snake? It's still lying next to me. A doubt appears. And when that helper says that it is only a rope, slowly all the symptoms of a snake bite vanish by themselves. Why? Now he is focused on the rope, not on the snake. What are we focused on in our life? Are we focused on the consciousness, or are we focused on the mind and its projections? Decide. If you think, oh, but I am ignorant, then you are focused on ignorance. You will never transcend. If you think, but I am a mother, I am a wife, then you will not transcend. You have to give, let the wife be. Who is wife originally? Originally a wife is a woman. Who is woman originally? Woman is nothing but a pure consciousness. Come back to pure consciousness. One can never see the snake again. One sees only the rope, the reality, and the substratum of the pure self. Hmm? So one can never see the snake again. Once you have seen the rope, you cannot see the. See, have you come across those uh, pictures where only dots are? Then you have to focus your eyes in a particular way, and you see Sai Baba in it, or you see Om written in it. It just pops out. Have you seen that? I can't remember what are those hologram pictures. Hologram pictures. It's nothing, it's just a plain sheet with so many dots. And you have to stop seeing something. Just be available to what is. And whatever is the image in it, hidden, which is unavailable to the normal eyes, it just pops out. Exactly the same way. Accept everything as it is. Shift your attention to the source. Let it reveal. You cannot reach it, but let it reveal. That person who was bitten by the snake, as much as he may have tried, he would not have seen the rope. He needed a teacher, a guru, to show that, hey, that is a snake. That's not a snake, that is a rope. And once he saw the rope, the fear of the snake went away, because it was not there in the first place. Exactly the same way. When we come to the scriptures, when we come to a Guru Maharaj, here Jnaneshwar Maharaj is bringing our attention, or our Swamiji's commentary is bringing to our attention who we are essentially. From the essential point of view, from the consciousness point of view, multiplicity, duality, relativity, ignorance, variety is not possible. It may be supporting, the sun supports the day and night, but from sun's point of view there is no day and night. Then for whom is the day and night? Everyone who is other than the sun, for them there is day and night. So who are Mahatmas? They are one who are established in the pure consciousness. They see, I am all that there is. But what are people seeing? Oh, Mahatma is a body. Mahatma is now 70 years old. Mahatma is having cancer. Mahatma is what type of Mahatma is he? That he is also hungry. He is also sleeping. How is he different to me then? Their attention is where? Not on the pure consciousness. Yet I feel something when I am in their presence. See? If this be the case, namely that we have taken an inventory of all the data on ignorance from different angles, ultimately only to discover that it is impossible to prove the presence of ignorance in the Atma, or for that matter anywhere, then why continue to discuss the subject? Let us accept the conclusion and close the subject. What is that? If we have looked at ignorance from all different angles, what was that? Whether ignorance is or ignorance is not. Second option, whether it is supported by the Atma. Is ignorance supported by the Atma? Is the phenomena supported by the truth? Is the pure consciousness supporting the mind? These are the pertinent questions. Or is mind itself the consciousness? Just like, is the wave itself the infinite waters? Wow, I never thought like that. You have to think out of the box. Third option, whether ignorance is inherent in the Atma. That would be like saying darkness is in the sun. Another impossibility. Fourthly, or whether ignorance can be established by cause and effect relationship. We use this cause and effect. Deep sleep is the cause and waking and dream are the effect. Unmanifest is the cause. And what is the effect of the unmanifest? The avyakta, sattva, rajas, tamas. From the sattva this came, from rajas this came, from tamas this came. The five elements came, and the whole family is created of the creation. But we never asked, what is avyakta? Avyakta is that which is not. So the first statement itself, avyakta, vyakta, that which manifests, avyakta, that is unmanifest, zero, nothingness, emptiness. How can empty become something? But we accept it just like that because someone has said it. Think. So these were some of the ways. So Jnaneshwar Maharaj is saying, what is the point of discussing that which is not leading to anything? We have looked at it from all these 4 or 5 different angles, and every angle is concluding in the fact that only consciousness is and ignorance is not. So let us accept the conclusion and close the topic. This statement must go in our mind. Let's not start talking about ignorance ever again. Don't say this world is an expression of ignorance. See it as an expression. Everything is only divine. I don't have the eyes yet to see that everything is divine. Give yourself the benefit of the doubt and shift your attention to the consciousness and allow the revelation or the divine principle to transform your vision to see everything as divine, as itself. It is possible in this lifetime, but it requires the necessary muscles. If you want to lift a 100 kg weight, you require the required muscle to lift that type of weight. So you just accept that you are. And the more we spend time with ourselves as we are and accepting everything as the self alone, then there is nothing to talk. There is nothing, then there is no differences, then there is no acceptance or tolerance. What would it be like? The only way we can explain it is the way Upanishads explain. No other text can explain that. And here Jnaneshwar Maharaj is also doing the same. But Sant Jnaneshwara does not want that kind of acceptance which is born out of frustration. Now Swamiji is coming to the point. That तरीके अभी हो गया, काफी हो गया, चला ना, आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू थिंक अबाउट इट एनी मोर. That this life is too hard. I don't want to live this life of working and earning and then surviving, and then when I have the money, then continuously pay the loans. Then what do you want to do? I want to become a sannyasi. This is a sannyasi, a frustrated person who is frustrated with the world. Because of that frustration, he has found an escape to become a sannyasi. And what does sannyas mean? Samyak nyas, the one who is equanimous in all conditions and situations, in all experiences. When the first instigation why you became sannyasi or you took to sannyas was out of frustration, out of non-acceptance of this world as it is, because you are frustrated, how can you become equanimous? Impossible. Think, zara sochiye. Sannyas is not a result of frustration and escapism from the world. Exactly the same way. Okay, I accept there is no ignorance. It is not a result of frustration. बहुत हो गया. I don't want to talk about anymore. Now there is no other angle left. You have already covered, but it is still not clicking. Okay, I accept what you are saying. The debate has been won, but the person who has got defeated, he is still not convinced. But because he is defeated, so he is accepting. This is not the right manner of acceptance out of frustration. Sant Jnaneshwar Maharaj does not want that kind of acceptance which is born out of frustration and out of a sense of resignation to an overpowerful argument. See? When you are playing with kids, I play carom or the Uno or some games, I keep playing with them when I go to their houses. And if I am winning all the time, the child after some time gets frustrated and says, Swamiji, you win, let's play another game. Even before the game is over, I accept my defeat. This is not so someone can be very vocal, someone can be very convincing, and if you have accepted defeat, if this feeling is there in your mind that I have got defeated, that I accept what you are saying because I don't have a counter argument, or I accept what you are saying, what Jnaneshwar Maharaj is saying, because here, my God, now I can't talk also. Now, before I was at least accepting this world, accepting this mind, accepting that there is a cause for all this frustration in my life. I could blame the ignorance. Now I can't even blame the ignorance. Now what do I do? Chalo yaar, okay. Not that way. Because it's not going to lead you anywhere. You'll go into depression. Today's world, depression. Rejection of the world or of the word ignorance out of frustration will not endure. Discarding should result from wisdom. How? I'll give you an example. Discarding of the world. Okay, I'll just let me go systematically. If it is systematic, I don't know how it will come out. If we leave the world out of frustration with loose ends, with loose with loose ends, and escape from this world without having sorted it out. Without having sorted it out, then what will happen? Again the world will catch you. How? Now we come to the example that give me a moment, I'll just have some water. How the world will catch you? Every day, knowingly or unknowingly, we escape from the world into the sleep. Where do we find bliss? In sleep. Why do we think of sleep? Why do we get tired? Because the load of the world, the doing in the world, to tie up the loose ends of the world, to maintain this world which we are carrying in our mind, which includes this body, includes these senses, this includes these thoughts and ideas about ourselves, it becomes a big load after a whole day. And we get tired, we get exhausted of holding on to this world as real. We become tired. And we want to escape from it, not out of wisdom. We want to escape it out of frustration. Now the load has become too much. Just like a person carrying a big weight on his head, after some time he will drop it. He wants to relieve himself of the weight. Even if the weight is only a piece of paper on your hand, which is, the paper is hardly any weight. But if you hold it long enough, you can start feeling the weight of that paper. And eventually you will want to keep the paper down. Same way we want to put the world down out of our mind. And the only way we know is by going to sleep. But we have done it out of non-understanding. We have done it out of frustration. We have gone to sleep as an escape from the world. We don't use that language because we are too smart. We are too intelligent. When we do this, when we go to sleep in this manner, after some time, when the sleep is over, what happens? The same world comes and presents itself. Why? Because we haven't resolved this world yet. We haven't seen, we have not transformed our vision that everything is nothing but the pure consciousness. So Jnaneshwar Maharaj is saying, don't. Rejection of the world or of the world ignorance out of frustration will not endure. It will keep coming back to you again and again, or you will keep going back to the ignorance or the world again and again. World is not ignorance. The idea of ignorance is only in your mind. See, when we study the scriptures, we have to resolve three basic things. What is the world? Who is the creator of the world? The Ishvara. And who is this Jiva that I am? Jeev, Jagat, Ishwar. This whole world is a play between these three. From Ishwara's point of view, there is no Jiva and there is no Jagat. He alone is. From Jagat point of view, Jagat never thinks of anything because it's inert. No thinking possible. From Jiva's point of view, he is essentially the Atma. And Atma and the Ishvara, they are one and the same. And the material that has gone into making the Jagat, the world, is also nothing but that Satchidanand Swarup. This transformation in the vision has to come about. But we are seeing the world as separate to us. I popped into this world existed before, after I die the world will continue. I consider the Ishvara, the creator, to be separate from the world and me. And the whole imagination just continues, goes on and on and on, life after life after life. It can click right now if you are available. Rejection of the world or of the word ignorance out of frustration will not endure. Discarding should result from wisdom. Discarding means what here? You are not discarding. It's more or like it is vairagya, dispassion. Everything is there, but you are not interested. In Patanjali Yoga Sutra, in Yoga Sutras, this stage is called pratyahar. Pratyahar is where the senses are still open. You don't have to close them. See no evil, hear no evil, talk no evil, smell no evil. No. Everything is open. But the mind is not available to the stimuli of the five senses. What are the stimuli of the five senses? The world. Right now you are listening to me. You are not available to the stimuli, all the stimuli that are there in your room. Table is there, kitchen is there, coffee is there, water is there, bed is there. I don't know what else is there. But are you available? No. Similarly, we become unavailable. This can be done mechanically. You don't have to think of consciousness. Till here you can do mechanically. But to maintain this without any efforts, then the shift to consciousness must take place. Pratyahar can be brought about by yoga, by pranayama, by japa. But it will only remain as long as you are doing the practice. If you stop the practice, pratyahar will go away. The non-disturbing attitude towards the undisturbed attitude towards the world, which was mechanically created, that will go away. And it's okay, it went away. The question comes, how do I maintain that undisturbing state in spite of living in this world? For that, then some new processes have to be brought into place. Just by controlling your senses or doing your pranayam, how long will you do pranayam? You can't do pranayam 24/7, 365 days a year. It's exhausting. Is there another way? Yes, there is. Be the consciousness. Accept yourself as the consciousness. Surrender to the divine. Automatically you will withdraw from the world. Meaning you will become dispassionate from the world. Meaning the world will still be there as an individual. The world is still there, but you are not disturbed by the coming and going of the world. What do you mean by coming and going of the world? coming and going of the waking, dream and sleep is not making an impact on the consciousness that you are. Think. That is you, the true you. That wisdom can come only from deep study and ruthless analysis. So, what is going on right now? Ruthless analysis. Huh? No, nahi, bacha, my dear, don't get depressed, don't get sad. We are not taking away your family, but if you become consciousness, then you will have a better. No, but if there will be no family, how can I become blah blah blah? Rona dona shuru. So this path is not for the faint-hearted. You need courage. You need courage to reassess the world in the light of the scriptures, in the light of the words of the masters. It may not be your experience right now, but accept. But accept. Once you accept, vision will transform. And acceptance is not at the mental level. Atmatvena. From the core, you accept. That wisdom can come only from deep study and ruthless analysis. That's why we do satsang every day. It's not to please you. It's not a mechanical satsang day in, day out, day in, day out. Every satsang, new thoughts are being presented. At least for myself, I am talking. Every word, every shloka or every verse triggers a plethora of ways of approaching the truth. The mind is continuously washed with those thoughts. Some gel, some don't gel. Only to gel later. And growth. The mind is transforming slowly, slowly, slowly. One day a critical point is reached, bang, spontaneous combustion, everything will be over. Hopefully. Actually, everything is over, even at this moment. But mind is taking its time to be absorbed. So, what better way than a satsang? Left alone, the mind will keep thinking about, chalo, let's see the tennis match. What is there to cook now? Haven't had coffee since morning. What will we have for breakfast? These are the stupid thoughts that our mind gets lost in. That wisdom can come only from deep study and ruthless analysis. Only then will it be firm and unshakable, capable of standing the depth and strength of inquiry. Our wisdom or conviction is not like New Year's resolution. This new year I make a resolution that I'll get up every morning at 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock and sit for 5 minutes only for doing japa or meditation. And you have been making this resolution for last 20 years. Still not. Or you start and within 2, 3, 4 days, 1 week, push. Why does this happen? No conviction. no firm resolution. Firm resolution requires the the required purs- pursuit of that what you have resolved. So if I decided that I'm going to chant one verse or one chapter of Bhagavad Gita every day, initially mind will take you everywhere but that Bhagavad Gita, and you need to exercise your will. You need to and this happens only because you have heard it from somewhere. Chanting of Bhagavad Gita is good. You have not made it your own resolution, you copy pasted. That's why these challenges come. But once you have decided from inside, that intellectual conviction that all logic has been worked out, Gita is the best, I must chant. Now you have to back it up with the practice. Come what may, I will not go to sleep without chanting the one chapter. You do it for 1 month, it becomes a habit. Now you cannot go to sleep naturally without chanting. You start enjoying chanting of the Bhagavad Gita. Same thing with japa also. But majority people give up even during the nascent stages. Take any profession that you are doing, all of you. Were you born doing that profession? Whenever you got into the job, you learned the ropes, you learned the technology, you learned the processes till you became comfortable, and now you have become firm in the position that you are. Were you born knowing the tables, 2 ones are 2, 2 twos are 4? No, but now you are expert at it. Today's children are not. So required practice is required. A continuous engagement with it is required. See? Only then will it be firm. So continue ruthless analysis, no ifs, buts, maybe, but what about my wife, but what about my husband, but what about my children, but what about my duties, but what. If these questions are popping up again and again, then two things. Either you are not qualified to go in this direction at this moment, you are eating more than you can bite, or the other way, you are biting more than
alert from low battery.
अरे ऑन तो कर दिया यार. You are biting more than you can eat, you can handle, you can digest. So prepare yourself. Only then will it become firm and unshakable. For this, continuous discrimination, these are the qualifications that are required: Vivek, Vairagya, Shatka Sampatti, Mumukshutvam. If we are not able to resolve and do the practice, our desire to liberate is weak. Our discrimination is weak. Our dispassion is weak. And if all these things are right and still it is not happening, then Shatka Sampatti is weak. Means your Shama. Shama is that mind is not leaking out of your senses. Dama, control of senses. Shama, Dama, Uparama. Uparama is Shama is control of mind, Dama is control of senses, Uparama is where in spite of the senses the mind is not going out. Titiksha, the ability to endure joyfully whatever life is throwing at you. Shraddha, doing all these above with faith. Faith in the divine, faith in the Lord, faith in yourself, faith in what the scriptures are saying is true, faith in what the Guru is saying is true, and faith in your ability that I can do it. It will happen. I am ready to surrender. I am moving in the right direction in my contemplation. By His will, not by my will. Then what comes? Samadhan. Samadhan means uncaused contentment. Uncaused contentment. I just drank a little bit of water, water became the cause, and the itch in the throat, removal of the itch in the throat became the effect. Cause and effect. Here there is no cause. Uncaused contentment. It leads to samadhan. So we may be discriminating because our thinking power is very good, discriminative power is good. We may be dispassionate. We may have intense desire, but we are not able to remain steady in our discrimination, not remain steady in our dispassion. Why? This is only because our Shatka Sampati is not matured yet. Equipment also has to settle down. Senses, mind, ability to endure. Oh my God, it is so hot, put the heater on. Oh my God, it is so cold, put the cooler on. This is, only then will it be firm and unshakable, capable of standing the depth and strength of inquiry. This is called Sthanuni Khandana Nyaya. Sthanuni Khandana Nyaya. Like a post that is fixed in the earth after repeatedly ramming stones and earth until the post is so firmly rooted that it will not yield to any attempt to shake it. So, are we rooted in the truth in such a way, even by contemplation way? Are we rooted just like you are rooted in being a mother? Nobody can shake you from being a mother or father. If 100 people, 1,000 people, million people come and say, these are not your children, you are not their mother, you are unshaken, you know. If someone comes and says, hey, you are not a man, you are a woman, or vice versa, you say, you can keep blabbering, man, I know who I am. For once or twice you will answer that person, are you gone cuckoo or what? After some time you will just disregard that person, because you know who you are. Man or a woman, there is no doubt about it. Similarly, are you rooted in the consciousness that you are? Or एक हवा का झोंका आया टूटा डाली से फूल, टूटा डाली से फूल. One breeze of the world comes and you forget the consciousness and you become the mother, father, daughter, sister. You become the happy or the sad fellow. You become the excited or the depressed fellow. Just one breeze, one event happens in your life and you are all scattered. One experience happens and you lose the plot. Or are we firmly sitting in the consciousness? Have we dived deep into our source that we are? Has our mind got fixated on this at the mental level? Have we become attentive towards the consciousness that we are to such an extent that nobody can shake us out of it? No experience of this world can shake us out of it. It requires time. For some people it does not require time, because they were matured. Bang, they were just waiting for that one. Nisargadatta Maharaj heard it once, only once. You are that reality. 2 years later, he was a realized master. But how many Nisargadatta Maharajas you find in this world? Very few. We can't copy Nisargadatta Maharajas and lock ourselves up in a room. He didn't lock up because someone told him to lock himself up. These things must happen from within. It must be an inner push. And that inner push must come as a result of contemplating on the truth. Just as hunger comes by itself, then you move towards the kitchen. The urge to know the truth must happen by itself from within. Then you become a sannyasi, or then you lock yourself up in a room, or then you become a parivrajaka, unattached to everything. It must happen. You can't think and make it happen. If you are thinking and coming to a conclusion because you have heard and read and seen somewhere, then it is copy paste. You will not be successful. I don't want to say that you will be successful or not. It is possible, but the data shows that nobody can recreate someone else's experience in their own life by copy pasting, because you are a unique person. You find out. Truth is the same. You find out how it will unfold. It may unfold while you are listening. It may unfold the moment the lecture finishes. It may unfold when you are drinking your coffee. It may unfold when you are looking at a flower. It may unfold when the breeze caresses your skin and passes by. That moment is the moment of eureka. Each one is, but the abidance is the same. In the same way, spiritual study is not aimed at either proving Paramatma or disproving ignorance, but to arrive at such a position that having arrived there, nothing will create a doubt ever again. This doubtless abidance in the self is spiritual realization. Paramatma cannot be proved. Ignorance, what is the word he is saying? That or disproving ignorance. It is not Paramatma versus ignorance. These are two words. The truth cannot be defined by the word truth. The truth cannot be defined by the word Paramatma. That you are, remember. So whatever we have the idea of Paramatma or ignorance, or this Jeev Jagat Ishwar, we have to understand their correct position. When you become unhappy at work, when a junior fellow starts dictating to you like a boss, and if he is smart enough and very conniving and has the vocabulary to put you down, what can you do? Then you are not unhappy with that person. So you have to understand where your position is in a family, in the society, in the workplace, in the universe. We are talking with reference to. All these are with reference to. What is your position with reference to husband? What is your position with reference to children? What is your position with reference to the position that you are working at? What is your position with reference to your bosses or juniors? What is your position as a citizen of this country? What is your position as a person on this earth? What is your position as a part of this universe, aspect of this universe? What is your position from God's point of view, Ishvara's point of view? What is your position from the absolute standpoint? You need to know all the positions. This is wholesome thinking. Which includes everything, rejects nothing, and it should not retain also. But our thinking is always only limited, only this much, only that much, only in this manner or only that manner. I read this, I read that. No, Vedanta teaches you to think all inclusively. Determine the position, and when you determine what your position is, then everything will function with integrity. Think, think. And once you have placed everything where they are supposed to, who the Jiva is, who the Jagat is, who the Ishvara is, what the cosmos is, where the waking dream and deep sleep is, where the past, present, future is, where the three gunas are, what is the placement of Ishvara, Prakriti, Mahat Tattva, and the five senses and the breath and the mind and the intellect. Are they outside or inside, or they are just projections of the mind, or they are outside the mind controlling the mind? All that, put everything in the right place and come to know that you are the true consciousness. You are the one in whose presence this entire inquiry is going on. And once this inquiry is resolved in this manner, by properly placing everything in their place, then there are no doubts. Doubt-free existence is realization, is the self. Nothing needs to be sorted out anymore. Mind does not have the capacity to sort out everything. But that mind which is dedicated, surrendered to the self, contemplating on the self, gets the acumen, automatically reorganizes itself to sort itself out. All the nail files are thrown on a table. One is facing north, one is facing east, one is facing this side, all different directions they are facing. But you bring a strong magnet in the presence, not even close to them, only in the presence of them. All of them will, in the presence of the mother magnet, all the iron filings will start facing the mother magnet. All get organized. Did someone turn them? No. Did someone push them? No. Did any of the iron filings complain, oh, why you are pushing me? No. Automatically, all the iron filings which were lying on top of each other, they sort themselves out and start facing the mother magnet. Exactly the same way. As the proximity of the self that we are, as we grow, as our mind keeps contemplating on the self over and over and over again, automatic overhauling of the mind. Mind is nothing but thoughts. All thoughts automatically become integrated, meaning all thoughts naturally, and thoughts will keep coming. Eyes are open, some thought about the world will come, but every thought will take you, will be oriented towards the self. This is at the mental level. And you are that. No doubt. Doubt is when there is a matrix. Crisscross, when things crisscross, there is entanglement. But everything is in a straight line, there is no entanglement. This is what happens to the mind. Right now, should I do this? Should I not do that? Can I do this? Can I do that? Not. Is there truth? Is there ignorance? But I am such a papi. I have done so many wrong things in my life. Am I qualified for realization? All these doubts. But once you are in the presence of the light, that you are, the mind gets washed by that light of consciousness and everything becomes integrated. In the same way, scriptural study is not aimed at either proving Paramatma or disproving ignorance, but to arrive at such a position that having arrived there, nothing will create a doubt ever again. Once again I reiterate, until and unless who is God, who is this, what is this world, and who am I, until these three questions are not resolved and their relationship is not resolved, doubts will appear. You have to ascertain the correct position for each one of them. Doubt means ignorance. I don't know why, who is God, I don't know where this world came from. It was there before I was born. How can I come to know? All this should be resolved. Who am I? I don't know. You don't know. Then who else can come to know who you are? The doubtless abidance in the self is spiritual realization. So live doubt free. Never feel guilty about anything. But don't keep repeating the mistake again. But live a doubt free life. We don't have to answer to anyone. We are not answerable to anyone. We should not have self-doubt. Do you have doubt? I am or I am not? Do you have this question going on in your mind? I am or I am not? No one has this question. Everyone knows that they are. Then where is the doubt? Doubt is whether I am individual, whether I am the virtual meaning husband, wife, brother, sister, whether I am individual means whether I am the ego, whether I am God, they say God expresses through my heart, or am I the absolute? Now you have to understand what each position entails, what is the viewpoint from each of those positions. Krishna took all the positions while answering Arjuna and telling Bhagavad Gita. He took all the positions. He took a position of a friend, he took a position of a teacher, he took the position of the God, the totality, when he gave him the Vishwarup Darshan, and he also takes the position of the Absolute. So in different parts of the Bhagavad Gita, he takes different positions. Why? He is absolutely clear who he is. Consciousness does not take any positions. Consciousness in relation to something can take a position. But from absolute standpoint, there is no relation possible. From total standpoint, all relations are included within the total. So again, no thought is possible. Yet he has the freedom to think or not think. From individual standpoint, only differences are possible. And from the relative, only depression is possible. No joy ever possible. With that, we'll conclude. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Just sit quietly for a few minutes. Hari Om everyone.